All right, I told myself I wasn't going to start out like this. I said I was not going to be political or try to be political on this channel, that it was going to be fun, good times. But the way and the state of this country right now, yeah, fuck that shit. Start my fucking music.
What you wanna be? We are the frontier. Idoman with the beat. Yo, 瞬時にゼロから100。闇の奥の神秘解き明かす。Yo, 死んでも rising from the dust。前代未聞の領域に立つ。てめえの uniqueness will damn this sentence level X I'm the best nothing less。開拓していく east to the west。
Hi, everybody. I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Darkstar1976, aka Chris Fairley, not Chris Farley. I am not a dead white guy. I am going to sit here and talk about some things that I have a problem with our government, the news media, and the lack of accountability, I should say, because it's starting to irritate me that young people this day and age are agreeing with the tyrant that is in charge right now, the orange one. I will never call him my president. I will call him a tyrant. I will call him a dictator. I will call him everything but a president because he is not presidential at all. I have no qualms about people selecting him for for good reasons, for reasons that they believe that he's going to say. But when people are telling you he is not telling you the truth and you do not believe them, or you think that is farce, it's a fallacy, is not true. It is true. All of it's true. I've been saying for since the pandemic that prices are going to rise. As soon as the pandemic's over, prices were going to rise. And I did not say it was going to rise because of uh, inflation. Inflation was never the reason in my eye that the prices were going to rise. It was always corporate greed. I always thought these people are going to make up their money somehow, some way. You got to realize the whole world was pretty much shut down. The whole world was pretty much shut down, and those who didn't shut down saw them lose millions of people in their countries. So, long story short, there's things I want to talk about on this channel that's going to be political. I'm not going to force feed it to you. Like, it's not going to be an everyday thing. It's not going to be what this channel is just about. There are going to be other topics, other things that I feel that are necessary in this day and life of what we're living in and everything like that. I want to call out the indifference in this government that is coming up right now. What is different about this Republican Party than the Republican Party that I started off as? Because I'm gonna tell you this straight up from the truth. I used to be a Republican. I was a Republican all the way up to Trump. My when I first registered to vote at 18 in 1994, I was a Republican from then all the way to now. I voted for who I thought was best in all those votes. Sometimes I voted for a Democrat, sometimes I voted for a Republican. It was all about who I felt was going to do the job that best had the best outcome that I thought they would. I was wrong on some of them. I was right on some of them. But not everybody's perfect on who they vote. There are smoke and mirrors, and there are things that people do to make you feel like they are doing the best interest for you, but they're really not. It's the best interest for them. And it's a lot of people in the government that are like that. They put on a good face to make you think they are doing what you are hoping they do, but they're not. That's when I realized that instead of looking at everybody for face value, you had to start looking at where the money is going. That is what changed about my outcome, especially around Trump. I Before then, I'm gonna sit here and say, like, during Obama and everything, I was fugal with how I picked my people. Like, it's just random people. If heard them speak, I and everything like that, and I took that to that. I never looked at the donations. Never looked at the corporations that were paying for our government officials, you know, to make laws that suits them instead of us. So, on that note, let's get to the topic before I go on a long tangent about everything that bothers me about this fucking country. There's a list. There is a list, and I'm gonna sit here and tell you it's not taxes that bothers me because I believe in taxes. I'm a strong believer in taxes if they're being done right. If everybody's getting taxed equally, if the taxes are going to things that better this country, I am a strong believer in tax. High taxes for better shit. So that's just me on taxes. But let me get to the real topic here. So the real topic I want to talk about is dog whistle. So a lot of people know what a dog whistle is. So you know, let's talk about dog whistles. Okay, dog whistles are one of the most discussed methods for politicians to play. I'm sorry. Yes, for politicians to play on voters' racial attitudes in a stealthy manner. Although they come in handy for manipulation on other topics as well, they take the name from whistles that can be heard by dogs but not by humans. The key to dog whistle is hiding what is really going on a broadly speaking, a dog whistle is a bit of communication with an interpretation that seem perfectly innocent, but which also does something else. It can be a clear coded message to those in a know. That's what I call an overt code dog whistle. Or it can work on its targets without their awareness, is what I call a covert effect dog whistle. So what I have right now is I have a video I'm going to show you. Just another definition of dog whistle is by Haney López. It's about dog whistle politics. So I'm gonna put it up there. It's gonna be about a 2 minute video. Like I said, this is gonna be a long video today because I got a lot of stuff I need to talk, and I need to give knowledge to what's going on in the world, what dog whistling really is, why it's affecting the way people vote, and how they're using it to scare you and to scare tactics, especially on Fox News. So here's Ian.
A dog whistle can be like a secret handshake, right? And so, in that sense, a dog whistle is a politician speaking in code that he knows the intended audience will understand, but that he hopes will be unintelligible to most of the general audience, right? And so, this is George Bush, for example, when he talks about the wonder working power. Now, for most people, it's an interesting alliteration, but it doesn't mean much. But for fundamentalist Christians, it was a way for him to signal, I'm with you, I understand your worldview, I represent it, I aim to enact it in government. That's dog whistle as a secret handshake. Racial dog whistles are different than that. The point of a racial dog whistle is to hide from the intended audience the fact that they're being manipulated in terms of their racial fears. So a racial dog whistle is more like a Pavlov's bell, right? You ring the bell and it leads to an association with food and the dog starts salivating. I mean, I hate the imagery at a certain point because we're saying people are dogs and it is really unfortunate of aspect of this metaphor. But it's important to understand, and in fact, it's so important to understand this is an intentional effort to manipulate the Republican base, or Democrats, Bill Clinton would do this too. This is an intentional effort to manipulate the base. And here's what I want to stress. So often when people talk about race in American politics, they respond by saying, we cannot believe that the vast majority of Americans, or that 60% of whites who vote for example, Donald Trump, are bigots. And therefore, we reject the idea that race has any role. And I want to be crystal clear. I'm not saying they're bigots. And I'm not saying that they understand that they're being appealed to in racial terms. In fact, I'm saying the reverse. I'm saying these are good, decent, hardworking folks who are struggling to make ends meet, feel tremendous anxiety about anxiety about what's going on in society, both economically and demographically, and who, though they know themselves to be good people and though they're really genuinely committed to not being racist, nevertheless are receptive to messages that play to underlying racial fears. And so these are the messages that say Sharia law is coming, there's a Muslim in the White House, immigrants are committing violent, terrible crimes. There's no factual truth underlying any of those statements. But it's a powerful narrative that has a fierce hold on the imaginations of many Americans. And politicians are constantly playing to it and continually stoking and renewing it.
Now that was Ian giving you another description of dog whistles. The reason why I'm bringing up dog whistles is because it is what has been used lately since the pandemic to really instill fear about what is going on with your kids, what they are teaching your kids, and everything like that. It is a way to make you afraid of learning your history, the true history of this country, all the bad things it's done, and everything like that. And more reason they are doing it is because kids now are more susceptible of knowing right from wrong. And the landscape of when Trump lost his reelection is what made them say, yeah, teaching our kids right and wrong is not helping. We need to control what they learn and how they learn it, which is going to be another topic about people controlling the learning system and why a lot of Southern people have Southern pride for the Confederate flag. That would be a different topic for another day in a future video. But what we're trying to say here is that they are using certain words to make people that fear on racial things or think that their kids can't take the truth, that they're turning them into people that are against their country. It is not turning them against your country. It's about learning what your country has done so you can change the way your country does things. So you can change how people outlook on your country is. You do not want to be always considered the big bad bully of the world, which is what the US is. We are the big bad bullies. It is our way or no way. I don't have a problem with that. It's just how it's done to us as citizens. I feel like if you want to be the bully to the world, that's fine. But to your citizens, you have to be grateful for them in choosing our leaders to represent us on the world scale. Now, these leaders need to be held accountable for the things that they do. That is at home, in office, and everything. No matter what you do, you should be held accountable. You are nobody should be above the law, and that is period. But for dog whistling, they use it to make you think people are doing things when they're not really doing things. They take your they distract you from the real problems and give you this problem that is more emotional than what is a real problem, right? And then another thing that the reason why people are trying to uh, use dog whistle and use racial things is because they don't want you to learn about the truth, about the history of of your family, pretty much their families. All these pictures that they always keep black and white when there was colored pictures at the time, so they make you think that it's old. They make you think that it happened a long time ago. I'm sitting here and my grandma showed me a video, all right, that talked about um, all the injustice that was done to the black people and how keeping the black people down, beating the souls out of them, and everything like that. And it affected her more than it affected me because the things that she saw in that video were things that she lived, right? Things that she saw that happened in the real world at her time. I didn't see these things, so it didn't affect me the way that she affected her. It still affected me. It still made me think, but it didn't emotionally affect me like it emotionally affect her because these are things that she lived through: segregation, lynchings, freaking all the bad things that you could think about during Jim Crow. That this is the height of my grandma's young years. All right, she is still alive to this day, so she went through this stuff. And then I knew my great grandma, and my great grandma never talked about anything in the past. Never, never talked about anything in the past. And you want to know why? Because it was so hard for them to deal with. It's hard for my grandma to talk about what she lived through. I can just imagine how hard it is for them to talk about what they lived through. So long story short, this whistleblowing thing, I'm just going to give you a few examples of what they've been doing for whistleblowing. And the first one is the one that blew my mind for when it started because I was like, what the fuck is that? So, CRT, critical race theory. All right. So, in short form, critical race theory is, you know, an academic field focused on the relationships between social conceptions of race and ethnicity, social and political laws, and the mass media. So, in the short term, it's just theories of what the relationship between the laws that are in place, how the media it uses them, how all these things, and how they are against people that are marginalized in this country. Now, they use it as a theory, so they will not always, so it is broadened, so they're not like naming certain people as they are doing things. But this is a theory that is used to sit there and talk and figure out how our laws benefit other people and not the not the minority. First thing, this is a law college course. All right. So what this guy, his name was Christopher F. Rufio, did was he got on Carson Tucker and made it seem like CRT is embedded in our government, in our schools, in our everyday life. That this CRT is what's making kids hate their country. It's what's turning people into, against the government, or the kids against the government. And they went in hard on schools and CRT. CRT is not being taught in any schools. Any schools, grade K through 12. You're not learning CRT. You're learning regular American history. And then the history that you're learning nowadays has been opened up to more truths than what we've known in the past because everything was rewritten for the winners of the United States, which was our slave masters, which was the government, which was the system that perpetuate us, you know, being less than a human. So they took the CRT and said that it was in schools, and then they made a big thing about it. Had made this the what were they called? What are they called? Moms for Liberty or something like that, which is just the Daughters of the Confederacy. That's another thing I want to talk about in the future about the Daughters of the Confederacy. Like, the, yeah, but again, that is why people are the way they are right now. They are afraid because their kids are going to learn what their grandparents and what they probably did when they were young. These are things that happen in the country, and they don't want their kids to know what grandma did in her life or grandpa did early in his life, all the evil and disgusting things that they did, because it was evil and disgusting things. And that's the problem with this country, because we do not talk about the evil and disgusting things that were done. We want to hide it. We don't just say, oh, it's in the past. It's not here anymore. That's not us. That's not what we're all about. That's not what we do as a country anymore. All that BS stuff that they want to pull and say and everything like that. It's not true. It is not the way you handle mental damage, and that's what it is. It is mental damage that has been done across the black populace. The next one I want to talk about is woke. I think it's woke. I think I said woke was going to be. Yeah, woke. Now they're using this. Everything is woke. Woke, woke, woke. You know, everything's woke. You're the world is so woke. The woke agenda. Woke, 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 woke. They're using it wrong. First off, it's not woke. The woke agenda is for black people. I'm sorry. I hate that y'all say it. Being woke is what black people used to say to make you understand that we see y'all. We see what you do. We know how you control us. We know how you control the government. We know what you're doing to us, and we see it. Our eyes are open, and we are not going to stand for it anymore. But they have used it to say, you know, if you are nice to trans people, you're woke. If you believe in people, mental health is good, you're woke. If you believe in DEI, equality, equity, and all that stuff for everybody, all this stuff. If you are a good person and you have morals and empathy, you are considered woke. All right. And that is some bullshit. I have grown up my life. I am one of those TV kids that has been set down, front TVs, everything like that, watch TV, cartoons, and everything like that. My whole life has been taught to me about being treating people like you would be treated, treating people that has handicaps like they are real people, treating people that are different than you like real people, being nice to people, not picking on people. All this stuff is stuff that I grew up learning. Now they're saying that it was all wrong. It's all wrong. All this shit that you brainwash into a lot of Gen X millennials is all wrong. All this stuff that you're saying, you know, that are Christian things, be kind to your neighbors. All this other stuff. You're saying that is all wrong now. That's wrong. That is not right. That is not right. Being woke is not that at all. That is just being empathetic to your human being or mankind or other people. Being empathetic to other people's blights. You know, it bothered me when I had a problem during the BLM, you know, stuff after George Floyd, because I sat here and watched a lot of people, a lot of things over the time, like since 2011. A lot of things, internet just speeds were going crazy. So you got everything quick, quick. And the amount of cops I saw kill people, let alone black people, was staggering. And it affected me in a way that I never thought it'd affect me. And the fact that I had friends that I consider friends tell me that it doesn't concern me because I am the whitest black person they know, or the fact that you have never lived a struggle in your life, you're not poor or anything like that. All these excuses they made for me not being able to say that, yo, I'm watching my people die and I feel sad about it, but my friends aren't empathetic to what I feel. You feel that every life matters, even though it's been seen that more blacks have been killed by police officers. People, it drives me crazy that you sit here, and I'm not saying that white people don't get killed or anything like that, but the fact that I see more people that look like me get shot for no reason, you know, kind of drove me into this situation, how I felt. So for me not to say anything or for me not to have any feelings on a situation is crazy. That is mind boggling. I don't understand how people can sit here and be so non empathetic nowadays. Like, so if let me just put it in this way, like the things that are happening in Gaza, right? I feel sorry for them. Feel sorry for Palestinians and everything like that. There was a time where I thought, you know, Israel was Israel there, and there was no Palestine. I didn't know all that stuff. I didn't know that that used to be Palestine, and then that next thing you know has been colonized, like pretty much America. And then for people to think, for it American Muslims to think that Trump and the Republicans were going to do something about Gaza, or shit, to think that anybody in America was going to do something about Gaza. Hold on one second. It's crazy because this country is built on colonization. This country, and they do it with the dog whistle, manifest destiny. That is a dog whistle. If I ever seen it, that is the boldest, biggest lie. It's manifest destiny that we come and take over all this land and make this a great country and everything like that. That's bullshit. You're just taking people's land, killing them, taking their shit for your own, and that's what you're doing. And for people to think that the United States is going to do something about it, or Europe is going to do something about it, or Australia is going to do something about it, talking about three fucking countries that are just all about colonization, you're crazy. You're crazy. And y'all were wrong for sitting here knowing that we saw what was coming up during this election. What the fight was for is for this country and our rights and everything like that. And y'all decided, no, we're going to vote for Trump. We're going to vote for these people that really don't give a fuck about us. But they said they're going to stop the fight. They're going to do more than Biden did. Yeah, they did more than Biden did. They're going to use your land as a wealthy resort now, and move y'all to somewhere else. You have lost your land. You voted for Trump. Y'all lost everything. Everything is gone for the Palestinians now. They have no leeway. They can sit there and hold the hostages all they want. Trump don't care if they don't release the hostages. He wants Israel to go in and finish the job. Simple as that. But people wanted to vote for him. Y'all wanted us to take our votes and vote for him instead of voting for the person that will help our country. And now y'all are crying. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you for crying because you got duped. Got duped and you didn't listen. But hey, that's what happens. That's what happens. They give you dog whistles. They make you think they're going to do something for you when you know they're not. When you should just look at what the money says. These people are paid by corporations. They are paid. Our system is fundamentally broken. This government system is fundamentally broken. It is not for the people, it is for the corporations. And if anybody says otherwise, they are straight up lying to you. Now, the last dog whistle I want to talk about is this DEI shit that there's been. Oh, man. So they're talking about DEI and how DEI has ruined this country, how everything DEI is wrong. And I'm not even going to stay on this topic that long because it is retarded. Do you know? Do you know who has benefited the most from DEI programs in the United States? I'll give you a second to think about it. All right, that second's up. I'm going to let you know right now. White women are the biggest beneficiaries of DEI programs. Women weren't allowed to do shit at work jobs. White, black, didn't matter your color. If you were a woman, you were supposed to be at home. You weren't supposed to be in the workplace. That was a man's work. Working was for the man, not for you. So to think that that's a problem in the world, to vote for people that think that that's a problem in the world, is crazy. It's crazy because without these things, without DEI, people didn't get a chance for jobs. Without DEI, people didn't get a chance for going to schools. It was legacy, 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 legacy. White, male, rich. That was it. Okay. So for them to sit here now and they're attacking all the DEI right now, it's crazy. Our government is literally becoming a monarchy. It is literally a monarchy oligarchy where the rich rules and we're gonna suffer. All of us. Middle class people, y'all can sit. And when I say middle class now, because I don't consider anything under 90K middle class anymore. You're still struggling. You're still struggling. It's just how are you single and doing good for yourself? 90K? Or are you in a family of four or more with a wife that, you know, she works maybe a little bit, or are you doing all the work, or she does all the work and you help take care of the kids, or something like that? Or are you both working your asses off just to make 90K? Is the question. Because it under 90K is poverty nowadays. With the way inflation is, with the way freaking they're price gouging everything, and soon these tariffs are going to hit. Making 150K and under is going to be poverty soon at this rate. But DEI is not bad. DEI is a good thing. It makes it a, a, a level playing field for everyone. And if you don't like a level playing field for everyone, then I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It is preposterous the rate and the way people are eating this man shit. Just eating it. Eating it. Trump, give me more shit. Elon, let me rub one off on my face from you. You know, it's like I can't believe how much these guys have hornswoggled the American government. And that's another thing. I need to stop changing that. U.S. citizens, United States citizens. That's another thing I'm gonna talk about later, but I'm gonna leave it on there. I'm gonna close this out because this already is a long video, and I'm not trying to keep it super long as possible. But I want to thank you. Until my next video, y'all have a great day. Take care. Peace, love, unity, and respect. Never forget it. Bye.
Muito quente aqui, eu tô morrendo de calor. Já tá pegando fogo, é tesão ou é amor?